أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله. اللهم صل وسلم على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا العالمين أبا القاسم مصطفى محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد
وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين ورحمة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين. عباد الله، أوصيكم ونفسي بتقوى الله، إن التقوى خير الزاد. Dear brothers and sisters and wives, me myself and all of you, to observe the duty of yourself regarding the word of Allah and to see what He wants us to do. As I said to you, every week, this part of advice is required. It's necessary for a khatib or lecture to remind you. First of all, to remind himself, and then the people who are attending to the Jumu'ah prayer, they should remind that taqwa, or being pious, piety is the most important advice for them. And the thing which cause or the main reason of the prophethood, the main reason of having Quran is to be being muttaqin. As the Quran says, the reason that Allah sent Quran to people just to make them pious. Hudan lil muttaqin. Quran is a cause or a reason or a tool or whatsoever you can call it, just to make us pious, to give us piety. Of course, it's important, and we have to be more careful about our duty, responsibility in this regard. Today, in first khutbah, in first lecture, I'm just going to remind you some important thing regarding this month, which is important. The month which is going to start, probably tonight, we are going to start the month of Rajab, which is one of the most important months in our life, or every year. Rajab, you know, we have, according to the Arabic terms, we have 12 months by the name of Muharram, Safar, then Rabiul Awwal, Rabiul Thani, Jamadul Awwal, Jamadul Thani, which today is supposed to be the last day of Jamadul Thani, then Rajab, Sha'ban, Ramadan, Shawwal, Dhul Qa'dah, Dhul Hajjah, and then Muharram. Start. Of course, according to the history, now we have, according to the Islamic calendar, the first month is called Muharram. But if you go and search, you will see the first month was not Muharram. Because of some political issue, Muharram transferred to be called as the first month of the year. Muharram was not the first. Anyway, Rajab is one of the most important months of the year. I'm just going to quote to some hadiths from the noble hadiths of our beloved prophets and A'imma alayhimus salam. that what they have said regarding the month of Rajab. Of course, it's good to know this sort of hadith before Rajab starts, because we are not going to miss, hopefully, any reward or anything which is prepared for the month of Ramadan. For example, if we know the good things about the Rajab, the month of Rajab, in end of the month, at the end of the month, it will be pity. We will lose this chance. We will miss this chance. That's why it's better to know before we enter, before we start the month of Rajab, we know about this sort of thing. According to the calendar, probably tonight is going to be the first night of the month of Rajab. There is a hadith from the Prophet. You can see this hadith in the book of Wasa'il al-Shia. Wasa'il al-Shia is an important book. Of course, Wasa'il is plural of Wasila. Wasila means tools, or the thing which you can use it for some certain things. So, Tools of the Shia is a very important book for the fiqh of jurisprudence of the Shia. Wasa'il al-Shia looks like Sahih Bukhari for our Sunni brothers. So Wasa'il is a good book for the very well-known book for the Shia community. We have Wasa'il al-Shia and Mustadrak al-Wasa'il, and we have Sahih Bukhari, for example, and Mustadrak al-Sahih, or Mustadrak of some other hadith book. In this book, we have lots of hadith from the Prophet. He said regarding the month of Rajab and the importance and the values of the month of Rajab. Of course, the action, the thing which is highly recommended to be done in the month of Rajab, a'mal of the month of Rajab, it's mentioned in this hadith. I'm not going to just open all of this because it takes time, and you may not be able to record all of this. It's better for you, especially to our dear students of the college, just to go and check the book of Mafatihul Janan. In this book you will see when in the chapter of the A'mal al-Rajab, the thing, the action which you are going to do in the month of Rajab, you will see lots of hadiths regarding the importance and values of the month of Rajab and what we are going to gain in this month and what we will be, what we will miss if we are not acting according to this hadith. And Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, he said, Prophet, he said, Inna Rajab Shahrullah al-Azim. Shahrullah means the month of Allah. Azim means great. Inna Rajab Shahrullah al-Azim. La yuqaribuhu shahrun min ash-shuhur. Hurmatan wa fadlan. La yuqaribuhu means the month of Rajab is one of the most important and great months which you cannot compare it with other months. Of course, the month of Ramadan is totally separate because there are many ayahs in the Quran that say that the month of Ramadan is totally, even one night of the month of Ramadan is compared to, especially the night of Qadr, compared to like 1,000 months. Laylatul Qadr khayrun min alf shahr. One night is comparable with 1,000 nights, 1,000 months, which is equivalent to one life, one person's life, probably 70 years, 70 years or 80 years, 1 year. So, forget about the month of Ramadan, but compared to other months, says Rajab is Shahrullah al-Azim la yuqaribuhu shahr min shuhur hurmatan wa fadlan. You cannot compare with the other months from the point of the value and importance and significance. وَالْقِتَالُ مَعَ الْكُفَّارِ فِيهِ حَرَامٌ. Now, there are 4 months which the fighting in these months, even with the kuffar, even with the non-believer, is haram. One of these 4 months is Rajab. Means Rajab, you cannot fight with the kuffar, even with the kuffar. And then Prophet said, Rajab shahrul istighfar. Rajab shahrul istighfar. Month of istighfar. Istighfar means, you know, what does it mean? Istighfar means to ask for forgiveness. Of course, we are not ma'soom. We are not infallible. We may commit sin, God forbidden, but anyhow, we are human beings. We make mistake. We can, it's possible for us to commit sin. So if we commit sin, is there any hope to be forgiven or not? If we think that there is no any hope to be forgiven after the committing sin, this is the biggest sin as well. Means if you are hopeless regarding the mercy of Allah and you think that there is no any hope to be forgiven, this is the most, the one of the greatest sin, to be hopeless. So, when is the best time to ask for forgiveness? Is there any special time for this or not? Of course there is a special and some certain time to be forgiven, to ask for forgiveness. If you go and check Surah Yusuf, for example, when the brothers of Yusuf, they have done such a thing to their brother, to Yusuf, after a while they realized they made some mistake. So they went to their father and asked the father, "Oh Father, please ask Allah to forgive us. Please ask Allah to forgive us." The father didn't say, "No, you will not be forgiven." Of course you will be forgiven if in reality, by the bottom of our heart, we ask Allah's forgiveness. Definitely we will be forgiven. But the answer was quite good and an important lesson to us. The father said, "Okay, I will ask Allah for forgiveness this coming Thursday night." Means the Laylatul Jum'ah, means the night of Jum'ah, Friday night, Thursday night, which is going to be called like Laylatul Jum'ah. I will ask. Means there are some certain days, certain times, certain nights which Allah is going to give His forgiveness, going to shower the servant His forgiveness or His bless more than other times. So that's why the Prophet said, Rajab shahrul istighfar. If you want to be forgiven, of course, there is a chance first to be forgiven, to get the forgiveness. The second thing is, you have to check when is the best time. Let me give you an example. If one of your member of your family, they have done something wrong to you, or you have done something wrong to him or her, you are looking for forgiveness. Definitely it's like this, isn't it? When do you think you try to go for forgiveness? Don't you look for some certain time? For example, if you have done something wrong regarding your father, you never go to your father for forgiveness. Any time you are looking for some certain time. You say, "Now my father is not in good mood, So it's better not to go to him, for example. This is an example. Or you will see your father now is, for example, is going to the masjid for prayer. He's in good mood. Or he is with one of his friends and they are talking regarding the spiritual things. Again, the chance or the time is good. So you will go and ask for forgiveness. Definitely, this is a good time for you to ask for forgiveness. That is why even the Prophet Yaqub, he answered with his children, said, okay, I will ask for forgiveness in the night of Jummah. Because that is a special night. Allah is waiting for the servant to come for forgiveness. Now, the Prophet tells us, Rajab is coming. If you are looking for forgiveness, don't miss this time. Inna Shahr Rajab, Shahrul Istighfar. Then he said, Shahrul Istighfar li ummati, for my ummah, for my nation. Akthiru fihi min al-istighfar. He didn't say just this month is month of istighfar. He said akthiru fihi, means insist and constantly go for forgiveness. Ask him, ask Allah. Akthiru is from the word of kathara, means repeatedly ask for forgiveness in this month. Why? Then he answered why. He said, فَإِنَّهُ غَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ. Indeed, Allah is Ghafoor and is Rahim. Ghafoor, it comes from the word of Ghafara, means he will forgive us, but as we say, either Sifa Mushabbaha or Sifa Mubalagha, which we learned already, means he never say no for asking of forgiveness, for forgiveness. Whenever you ask for forgiveness, he will say, yes, Ghafoor. Not only Ghafoor, he is Rahim. Rahim means merciful. Means not only he will forgive you, he will pay you something. See? For example, if your father, you ask him for forgiveness, your father may say, okay, no problem, I forgive. It's forgiven already. But sometimes some fathers say, okay, no problem, because of this mistake which you've done and you're asking for forgiveness, I will buy this for you as well. See, Allah is Rahim. He said, okay, you're asking for forgiveness, I forgive. Means I forget about whatever you have done to me, whether it was good or bad or you have done something wrong, no problem. But now make sure, because you came to me, you didn't go to my enemy, you didn't repeat your wrong thing, I am going to pay you something as well. How good is that? And how bad we are as a servant of such a great God. So, in this hadith you can find in volume 10 of Wasa'il al-Shia, page 511. Again, we have another hadith from Prophet as well in Wasa'il al-Shia, volume 10, page 484. 484. He said, من استغفر الله في رجب من استغفر الله في رجب وسأله توبة 70 مرة بالغداة و70 مرة بالعشي يقول استغفر الله وأتوب إليه فإذا بلغ 70 مرة رفع يديه وقال اللهم اغفر لي وتب علي فإن مات في رجب. See, this is the result. فإن مات في رجب مات مرضيا عنه ولا تمسه النار ببركة الرجب. Allahu Akbar. How great is this reward for this, simple words which we are going to say. Said, the Prophet said, Man istaghfarallah fi rajab. Whoever He asked for forgiveness in the month of Rajab, which inshallah tonight we are going to start the month of Rajab. من استغفر الله في رجب وسأله التوبة, asking for tawbah, repentance, or asking Allah, just, oh Allah, please come to me, I'm going to come to you. 70 مرة بالغداة و70 مرة بالعشي. 70 means 70. But these 70 times, it doesn't mean that if you're making like 69 will not be accepted, or if you make it 71 it will be wrong. No, 70 is just as a model or a figure which tells us must be some number which is high number. It means lots of number you have to repeat it, not only for a few words. Sab'in means try to make it as much as you can. But the minimum, as he said, if you make it 70 مرة, means 70 times you say أستغفر الله ربي وأتوب إليه. يقول أستغفر الله وأتوب إليه. If you say 70 times in the day and بالعشي والغداة, بالغداة والعشي means the day and the night. فإذا بلغ تمام 70 مرة, if the 70 times is finished, رفع يديه. After the 70 times, he raised his hand. He says, Allahumma gfirli, oh Allah, please forgive me. وَتُبْ عَلَيَّ, and come to me, or allow me to come to you. فَإِنْ, if he said like this, after 70 times, what will happen? He says, فَإِنْ مَاتَ فِي رَجَبٍ. If this person is died in this month, in the month of Rajab, this hadith is not from me, not from any other scholars like us. It's from the Prophet. It means whatsoever he says, مَا يَنْتِقُ عَنِ الْهَوَىٰ إِنْ هُوَ إِلَّا وَحْيٌ يُوحَىٰ. Whatsoever he says is kind of wahy, is kind of the word of Allah. So definitely there is no doubt. He says, فَإِنْ مَاتَ فِي رَجَبٍ, if this person he died in the month of Rajab, مَوْتًا مَرْضِيًّا عَنْهُ, means he died while Allah is happy with him. Mardiyan an means Allah is happy with him. وَلَا تَمَسُّهُ النَّارِ, and then says, nar means the fire, fire of the hell will not touch him. وَلَا تَمَسُّهُ النَّارِ, will not touch him بِبَرَكَةِ الرَّجَبِ, by the bliss of these months. That is why Prophet says you cannot compare it with any other months. The month of Rajab, that's why it's so important. So according to Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, Imam Ali alayhi salam used to be busy, especially for night during the whole year. Of course, Imam Ali alayhi salam, every night he was busy with his worship, his ibadah, his salat. But when it comes to these 4 nights, he used to say, I'm surprised why or how people will go to sleep in these few nights. The first night is the first night of Rajab. The second one is Nisf Sha'ban, means Laylatul Nisf min Sha'ban, means half of the month of Sha'ban. And then Walaylatul Fitr, the night of Fitr, Walaylatul Adha, Eid al-Adha, the night of Eid al-Adha. These 4 nights, according to Imam Ali alayhi salam, are important nights, which it's surprised if people go to sleep for this night. These nights are especially for worshipping, for asking Allah for forgiveness. Inshallah, may Allah help us and give us more tawfiq to recognize the value of these months and being able to act according to the advice of our dear Prophet. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين. اللهم صل وسلم على أمير المؤمنين سيد الوسيلين نبينا أبي طالب عليه السلام. اللهم صل وسلم على صديقة الطاهرة فاطمة الزهراء صلوات الله وسلامه عليها. اللهم صل وسلم على السبتين النبي الرحمة سيد الشباب أهل الجنة الحسن والحسين عليهم السلام. اللهم صل وسلم على علي بن الحسين محمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي العسكري صلوات الله وسلامه عليهم. اللهم صل وسلم على الهجة العظيم المنتظر المهدي صلى الله وسلامه عليه جزك على وضعك وموتك صلاة كثيرة دائمة. اللهم صل وسلم على جميع الأنبياء والمرسلين والشهداء والصالحين والصديقين. اللهم صل وسلم على جميع عباد الله الصالحين. عباد الله أوصيكم ونفسي بتقوى الله إن التقوى هو خير الزاد. Dear brother, sister, dear worshipper of Allah, I advise first of all me myself and all of you, my dear brother, to see what is your duty regarding the forbidden which is being introduced to you from the word of the prophets, or the commands which has been introduced to you from the word of the prophets. And whatsoever you are asked to do, just try to observe, just try to act accordingly, and whatsoever you are asked just to be away from this, inshallah, by the help of Allah, try to keep more distance from this sort of thing. The more far and distance we get from the shaitan and his world, we will be more close to Allah. The more close to shaitan, we will be more far from the mercy of Allah. Of course, if a person is not deserving to receive the mercy of Allah, definitely he will be welcomed, very warm welcomed by shaitan. Of course, shaitan is one of the most enemy of Allah. Definitely we don't want to be welcomed by the enemy of Allah. If we don't want to be welcomed by the enemy of Allah, definitely we should be away from their word, and we should be away from the thing which they love. Of course, we cannot open our heart, the door of our heart, for both Rahman and Shaitan. Cannot be. The heart is a place of only one. Whether you want to, either you invite Rahman, means Allah, or you invite Shaitan. If you invite Shaitan, according to the Quran, from the one door, when Shaitan comes in, from another door, Rahman will go out. Of course, in the heart which is there is no light of Allah, it will be like, as the Quran says, Summun bukmun umyun fahum la ya'lamun. Everything will be closed. When the door is closed, you cannot get any light from this. If there is no light from this, even though you are in the months of Ramadan or Sha'ban or Rajab, there is no any possibility of getting this light. I gave you this example many times. Probably some of our brothers, they did not heard of sister. Our beloved Imam Baqir alayhi salam, the fifth Imam, he used to say, the heart of you, or heart of a young person, is just look like a white and blank paper. White paper. There is no any dot, any ink on it. The first sin which you commit, the first ink or the first dark point will go there. Means the heart is just like a paper which you put some drop of ink on it. If you go with Tawbah, repentance, you're asking for forgiveness, it just looks like an eraser. You use the eraser and you clean these dots, these ink. But if you're not going for tawbah, if you're not asking for forgiveness, and you're committing another sin, the dot or the ink will be more. The time will be in a case whole paper is covered by the ink. Then Allah says, Summun bukmun umyun fahum la ya'qilun. Everything is closed. Summun. Bukmun. Buk means they cannot talk. Summun means they cannot hear. Umyun, they cannot see. It doesn't mean really by this physical eye or this physical tongue they cannot say or they cannot hear. It means they cannot allow the light of the word of Allah goes to their heart. Then it will be just like, to give an example, like a can, the can of like a drink. If the can is from both sides is sealed, if it's empty, if you put it in water for how many times, I don't know, for millions of years, if you put it in the water, even the ocean, even one drop of water cannot go in, because both sides is sealed. But if you make a small hole in this can, you will see after a while, after 5 minutes, the water will be full of the water. That is what it means. If it's someone bukmun umyun means it's sealed from both sides. If it's sealed, it cannot go. Even in the month of Rajab, even you are just in front of Imam Ali alayhi salam, or just in front of the Prophet, even the Prophet alayhi, they say these words by like the mercy of Allah, but these words will not enter their heart. And you can see many people, they have been with the Prophet for, like some of them even for 23 years. But end of the story, what has happened? They lost their way. Because end of the story, they became from the point of the Quran, and according to the Quran, they become among these people who are summun bukmun umyun la ya'qilun. So hopefully, inshallah, we are able. We ask Allah just to give us chance for our heart to be open always, to be able to getting this noble place from Allah, especially the month of Ramadan, which I said, the month of Rajab, which I said. I'll just give one extra information regarding Rajab, just to be ready for the month of Ramadan. Let me give you an example. If an airplane is going to fly for the takeoff, this plane cannot go directly to the sky. It's not like a helicopter. So helicopter, because the capacity is, the distance which is going is very short. It's not comparable with the plane. Maybe it's able to go directly. Easily can take off and go to the sky. But the plane, if he wants to go, because the way he goes and the area which he can pass is not comparable with helicopter, he needs more preparation. You will see in the airport for like 1 kilometer or 2 kilometers, more or less, he needs to walk, he needs to just run to the airport, and then after a while, he's ready to take off. It's not like helicopter. Our case, regarding going towards Allah, regarding flying and reaching to the sky of the mercy of Allah, needs a preparation. That is why Allah said, the time of your takeoff is the night of Qadr. Nights of Qadr is the exact time for takeoff. But if you are not prepared yourself before, you cannot take off immediately. You have to be ready. You have to make yourself ready. He said, according to the hadith, the month of Rajab and month of Sha'ban is the time for preparation. You have to prepare yourself. if there is any sin, if there is anything wrong with you, you have to remove it from you. You have to be able yourself to be lightened and to lighten yourself and to remove the wrong thing from you, just to be able to fly. Otherwise, if it's heavy enough, if the speed is not good enough, if there are something wrong, there are some prevention in the road of the airport, for example, in this case, the plane cannot go for takeoff. Whether it's so heavy, whether the speed is not enough, whether there are some prevention in front, he cannot fly. Although everything is there, but he cannot fly. Our case regarding flying towards Allah is like this. If we are sinful, if we have lots of problem with us, means our body, our soul is not ready. Even though you are attending to the case of Laylatul Qadr, you reciting Quran, you reciting Dua, everything, but still you are not able to fly. That is why the Prophet always used to said, take this opportunity, the month of Rajab, because month of Rajab is considered as the month of Allah. Sha'ban is, he said, Sha'ban is Shahri, is my month. Prophet said, Sha'ban is my month. But the month of Ramadan is the month for the people, my ummah, my nation. Okay? So, if that is the case, Rajab is our first step for preparation. Hopefully, inshallah, by tonight, which is going to inshallah be the first of Rajab, we are going to prepare ourselves for this. I just want to remind you, probably next Friday, inshallah, I will talk more about this. In this month, we have some important events, some important times. Like we have 13th of Rajab, which is the birth anniversary of our beloved Imam Ali alayhi salam, the successor of the beloved Prophet. The 13th of Rajab. Then we have Ayyamul-Bid. Ayyamul-Bid means the white days. The white days is called Ayyamul-Bid, means the 13th, 14th and 15th of Rajab and Sha'ban, which is highly recommended for the i'tikaf. I'tikaf means going to the mosque and being in the mosque for these 3 days and nights, and there are some certain a'mal, certain action in these certain nights. Just this time is just for the Allah is looking for an excuse to forgive us, so this is a good chance for us to be forgiven. Then we have 28th of Rajab, which is the Mab'as. Mab'as means in that day, Prophet Muhammad has been appointed as a prophet. So inshallah we are going to discuss about this sort of thing next week, inshallah. The second thing which just I want to talk a little bit is regarding the thing which has happened in Syria. Of course, we don't want to talk about the political things in Syria, like why they are opposing regarding the governor or any other things. It's an internal thing between the people and the government. Of course, every people have their own rights regarding their government. If the government will not follow the rights of the people, they will have some problem with the people. But our topic, the thing which I'm going to talk about, regarding the action of some extremists, even they call themselves Muslim, but most extremist Muslim, they opened a grave of an important and very significant and very noble companion of the Prophet by the name of Hujr ibn Adi. Hujr he became Muslim while he was, according to the history, he was like 22 years old or 27 years old. He became Muslim. He is from the family of Hatem Ta'i. You know, maybe you've heard Hatem Ta'i, one of the great and generous people among before Islam. Even the Prophet says he was so generous. He used to give people whatever he had. Even the Prophet said, although he was not Muslim, but now he will be in the hell, Jahannam, but the fire will not touch him. This is the word of the Prophet. We are not going to open this discussion, but just to say, Allah will respect some good manner, whether you are Muslim or non-Muslim. Even you are non-Muslim, if your action is good according to the word of Allah, Allah will respect. So this person, Hujr ibn Adi, was from this noble family. He was a companion of the Prophet. And then, after that, the time of Imam Ali as a first Imam of the Shia belief and fourth Khalifa of the Sunni belief, he was, the Hujr was one of the great companion of Imam Ali alayhi salam. Of course, even according to our Sunni brothers, Imam Ali was the fourth Khalifa. Whoever is going to act or whoever is going to fight against the Khalifa must be recognized as a person who is against Islam. But I don't know how these people, they respect Muawiyah and Ali both. How come? Whether he is your Khalifa or not. If he is a Khalifa, all Muslims should follow this Khalifa. And then Muawiyah was against Imam Ali. So Hujr was one of the greatest companion of Imam Ali, and he was one of the Zahid. Zahid, it means he just refused to be a man of this world. He forgot everything, and he used to be just with a simple thing for food or for clothes or for their daily life. And he was called by the name of Hujrul Khair. Khair means good. Means he was so good and well known among the people. Of course, because of his support from Imam Ali, by Imam Ali alayhi salam, and he supported Imam Ali and his companion, and he was against even the time of in the Kufa. He was against Ziyad ibn Abi, the person who was the governor of the Kufa. So this governor could not tolerate, could not allow these people to stay in Kufa. Then he wrote a letter to Muawiyah. He said, I cannot allow this person, he is very well known, his family, his group, his tribe is going to support him, and he is going to support Shia community. He is going to support Ali's family. See? He is going to support Ali's family, then what should I do? Then Muawiyah wrote to this governor, said, send it to me. Send this group to me. Hujr ibn Adi with a group of a Muslim was sent. Not only him, a group of companion of the Prophet was sent to the Muawiyah in Sham, Syria. Then, I'm not going to open this discussion, but after a while, when Muawiyah had a long discussion with these people, then end of the story came to this point that this person must be killed. Then he killed this person, cut the head of this person, then buried him in Syria. According to history, when Muawiyah, in one of his trips, he went to Medina, he has met Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Maybe you haven't heard, but Muawiyah has, Imam Hussein and Muawiyah, they had some kind of meeting with each other in Medina. Imam Hussein alayhi salam asked about the Hujr, because Hujr was one of the companions of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, Imam Hassan alayhi salam, especially Imam Ali alayhi salam. So when Prophet, Imam Hussein asked Muawiyah, what have you done regarding the Hujr? See what Muawiyah answered. Muawiyah said, we killed him, but we washed him, we put him in kafan, and then we buried him in Muslim cemetery, in the grave. You know what Imam Hussein said? Imam Hussein said, but if he was one of your companions, we would kill him. We would not wash him. We would not bury him in a Muslim cemetery because we don't know you as a real Muslim. Anyway, this kind of listen to us. This kind of action is a listen to us. This person, whether he was a companion of the Prophet or companion of Imam Ali as a Khalifa of Muslims, or companion of Muawiyah, even he is companion of, according to belief of all Muslims, Nabshul qabr means open the grave of a Muslim and to take out the body, it's haram. According to all Muslims, we are not allowed, whether we are Sunni or Shia, even according to the Wahhabi. But now this group who claim that they are following the Wahhabism, they have done such a bad action towards this, regarding this noble companion of the Prophet. Of course, Al-Azhar in Egypt, they condemn. In Iran, the all ulama, they condemn this action. Even 2-3 days, they closed their school, they closed their lessons. For the great ulama, the Ayatollah, they closed their lesson just to condemn this. But this person, what they say, their answer is, because this grave is going to be like shirk. What kind of shirk is this? They say, because some Muslims are going to worship this grave. How come? If people are going to respect such a place, it's not because this place is made by wood or by stone or by some other thing. There are many, many woods and stone in the world. Why we don't respect this kind of wood and stone? But when it comes to the wood or stones or some other thing which is included, which is covered, the holy body, whether a holy body of Imam or Prophet or any other, we respect. That is why these people, even they don't know what is the simple meaning of the shirk. I'm just telling you, I know some of these people, they don't know even simple word regarding the shirk. But when you ask them, why you have done this? They say, because it's shirk. What kind of shirk is this? Can you explain to me what is the meaning of shirk? They didn't know, even they don't know how to explain the meaning of shirk, but just because of the influence of some people, influence of some government, they are doing this and they are going to act against the war, against the whole Muslim. Even if you go back to the history, you will see who were the one, destroyed the cemetery of Baqi in Medina. The graveyard of Baqi in Medina, which was the graveyard of holy companion of the prophets and the graveyard of the some of A'imma of the Shia community, like Imam Hassan-Mustafa, Imam Sajjad, Imam Baqir, and Imam Sadiq. They destroyed all of this graveyard just because they said it's shirk. And they tried to destroy the grave, the Haram Holy Shrine of the Prophet, but unfortunately, because of the Muslim action against them, whole Muslim, the world against them, they could not do it. Otherwise, they would destroy the whole shrine of the Prophet as well. And actually, there are some certain signs they started to do something, but some miracle has happened. I'm not going to open this, but that was they could not. But now they, after 100 years, they started to act the action again. So our Muslim brother, whether Shia, Sunni, they should be aware about this sort of action, which is supported by our enemy who are not Muslim. May Allah inshallah give us tawfiq and to be able to realize our responsibility in this regard and regarding all of the other responsibilities. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.